Conservative media peeps and MMA fans all around the world, what is up? I'm John D. Villarreal, the four-time national champion and the MMA expert. Now, there were some people who were trying to question my MMA credentials. JDV, you weren't an expert. First of all, it's all my personal opinion, knowledge, in fact, not casting any aspersions, all for entertainment parody purposes. Only check disclaimers, you know that. So there were some people that were trying to question my MMA credentials and my expert status. I might have to change it now to super expert status. What's up, JDV? Yeah, what's up is basically I had a theory. And in my personal opinion, I've known for a long time exactly how you beat this GSP, this Georges Saint-Pierre. And I like GSP, he's cool, everything like that. But see, you forget something, right? That I was national world class in 3 strength and combat sports. And in fact, now that I actually recollect it, it might even be 4 because you probably could add you know, Olympic lifting to that because I was recruited by the U.S. Olympic lifting team. By Jim Schmidt to go over there to the Sports Palace. And that was at Junior Nationals for powerlifting. Anyway, whatever. So, as you might, 3 or 4 strength, well, national world class in 3 or 4 strength and combat sports. And PFV's with us too. As Paul can attest, I beat people mentally, meaning that I was an expert and am an expert strategist and tactician, and I can analyze someone and look right through them and see exactly how you beat them. Alright? And I'm going to get to something else in a second here that's important. But I don't want to bury the headline. The headline is, in my personal opinion, apparently the Supermaster, Cesar Gracie, and the home base where Jake trains, Jake Shields, basically seems to agree with JDV on how you beat GSP. I just watched this UFC Primetime, great show. It was on last night, I believe, was it the 21st, something like that? I don't know. Right? And you have here Cesar Gracie, who basically said what I said about how you beat GSP. It was, and it's going to be a paraphrase, not going to be an exact quote. You got to check the transcript, check the show, whatever. Something to the effect of, yeah, GSP's a phenomenal athlete, but I'm not sure he's the toughest guy. Oh, who's been saying that? I think that you need to make it a war and take him into a deep water, see what his heart is, and then you defeat that. Wow! Jeez, is this like deja vu? Who's been saying this? Who said it to Jake Shields? Who said it first? Who said it to Koscheck? Who said it to, I believe, Cain Velasquez? Who said it to Jason Manley, Gracie fighter instructor? Who's been saying it? Who was ridiculed by the GSP fans, stuff like that? Me, JDV, the MMA, I'm changing it right now, super expert. Not only do I get interviews with all the cool dudes, and it's like the funnest, coolest interviews that you've seen in MMA, in my personal opinion. Not only am I the 4-time national champion, not only was I national world class in 3, actually scratch that, probably 4 strength and combat sports. Not only are my predictions, not just who's going to win, but how in MMA, right, so often it's unbelievable. And I'd put I mean, go back and look at the videos. That's the perfect thing about all this. All of the video evidence is there and it's facial in your face, dude. But now, the pièce de la résistance, like the icing on top of the Mount Everest level cake, is that apparently, in my personal opinion, Cesar Gracie may be agreeing with my theory that was right up there in front and nobody else could deal with, and I brought it to you. Paul, tell me what's going on here. You heard it for yourself and you were just loving it last night.
Sounds a lot like you were saying.
Oh, yeah.
You called it, and we love Cesar Gracie. We're hoping that Jake does well against GSP. I mean, we hope it's a good fight.
I've been seeing him.
And look, I mean, as you said, I mean, you gotta, take credit where credit is due.
You gotta take credit where credit's due. I liked it. I like to see the training that Drake's been doing. He's getting this thing going on there. He's training in his different camps. He's got it going with the scrap pack. He's got Cesar Gracie. He's got the CSA. He's got Diablo Barber. He's got all these things going on. And I like what I'm seeing. And he's serious about it. And here's the deal. When I see Jake Shields, when I see Cesar Gracie, when I see the scrap pack, I see dudes that are tough. I see dudes that like to fight. I think Jake Shields takes it to a level that you rarely see. Now here's the deal. What you have to understand about me is, and Paul can speak to that, whether it was powerlifting, wrestling, judo, whatever, I've always looked for a ridiculous challenge. I've always looked to test myself against the very, very best. I've always been, in many instances, the underdog, wrestling up, facing black belts, facing, guys that were a lot bigger than me, and that, whatever. It didn't matter. I won. You take something like wrestling, right? And see, I was technique-wise, I actually had a lot better technique than a lot of people give me credit for. But like technique-wise, basically, on the feet, in terms of getting someone down, takedowns, I was better than average for the skill level that I was at. I was better than average. I wasn't great. I wasn't like amazing. I wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. I was better than that. But that was maybe a slightly weaker part of my game in comparison to the other stuff. My takedown defense was phenomenal. My strength was phenomenal. My flexibility was phenomenal. My technique on the ground, either bottom top, was phenomenal. My pin defense and phenomenal. And so, but the way I beat people most of the time was right in here. I had a level of physicality. In other words, always was someone that was in the rule, within the rules, everything like that, whatever like that. But if I was allowed to use a crossface, I'm going to use a crossface. I would put a, punishment on someone and basically make them want to quit. That wasn't like my first move. That wasn't, and again, everything within the rules, no cheat, anything, forget about that. Everything within the rules, definitely, that's the way that I do things. But basically, I'm going to put you in a level you don't want to deal with. Whether that was pushing a pace you don't want to deal with, whether that was putting, wrestling very physically, or like they say in the pro wrestling business, wrestling very stiff, okay? Whatever it is, put you in a stretch, put you in a hole, put you in a position, whatever it is. I'm going to put you in a place you don't want to deal with. And we're going to see what's up. I knew I was the tougher dude. Dude, I've won championships. Dude, my last national championship that I won, okay, I had blown out my elbow here. And I had to see the good doctors over there at John Muir, very good. Blown out my elbow here, doing 465, I think, 4 weeks before. The thing was like black and blue and swollen up. And then if that wasn't enough, and this is when I was 35, dude, almost 36. 2 weeks after that, 10 days before the competition, I basically I'm doing 740 pounds on a squat, blow out my freaking back. So now I'm blowing out my back, and I still go in there and I still win. And I'm in tremendous amounts of pain. Now, I was hurt for about a year after that, but whatever, dude, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, playing with pain and going through that and understanding how to beat someone, how to break them down. I'm not even talking mental games, stuff like that. I'm just saying, who wants it more? Putting someone in, when I see someone, here's the thing, and I'm not even going to tip all my hand right here, because I see things in a way that almost nobody else does, unless you're a super expert in the game, like a Cesar Gracie. When I see GSP, I see somebody who does everything he possibly can to prepare for and win a fight, which is great. And that's one of the things that makes him a great champion. However, there's a flip side to that. As one of my old bosses used to say, your strength a lot of times is your weakness. Somebody who does that in conjunction with these other things I'm going to mention, that tells me something. That tells me there's some people that want to do everything they can to prepare to be better, it's not whatever. And of course, whatever. And there's some people that have to have all that preparation to have the advantage. There's some people that have to have every advantage going into something to just feel okay. You feel me now? You see what I'm saying?